Alright guys, so today I'm really excited because I'm going to be showing you a pretty awesome original trick, and I think it's pretty cool, so hopefully you guys enjoy it as well, and let's get right into the performance for the trick. So for this, we can take the deck and give it as many shuffles as we like, and this trick is completely impromptu, which means we can do this with a borrowed shuffled deck of cards. So let's have the spectator select a card. They'll go ahead and take it out of the cards like this. Let's say they remember this card, okay? So please go ahead and remember this card as well, and we'll lose it somewhere in the pack, just like this. So what's gonna happen next is I'm actually gonna give the spectator a small pile and myself a small pile here. So here on the table, actually, we're just gonna take cards like this and just mix them around and throw them onto the, onto the pile on the table. And I tell the spectator, you can do this as well. Shuffle the cards up, do this as much as you like. Here, I'll give you some more. But we're basically just gonna consolidate the deck back together, but we're gonna be shuffling the cards in the process. So we're just gonna lose your card even further in the deck while we put the cards back together. So as you can see, we've just finished this. Your card's not on the top or the bottom, is it? Okay, great. So for this next part of the trick, I'm gonna tell the spectator about a really cool skill that magicians do called estimation. So have you ever tried to cut a small pile of cards like this and estimate how many cards you're holding? Like for example, I could tell you right now, this is about 16 to 17 cards. Have you ever tried to do that? No? Okay, well today is your lucky day because we're gonna see how good you are at estimation. And it's pretty low stakes. We're just gonna sort of treat this as a carnival game. Have you ever been to the carnival and they have a big jar of candy and you have to guess how many candies are in that jar? Well, it's basically that game, but it's gonna be guess how many cards are in your hand, okay? So here's level 1. I want you to cut about a quarter of the cards and we'll start there, okay? So they do this themselves, they hold the cards, and now just like the carnival game, just kind of guess in your head how many cards you're holding. You don't even need to say it out loud or anything. And now we're gonna count the cards and we're gonna see if you're close or far away from your guess, okay? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cards. Now, was that pretty close? Was that far? And they say, it was kind of close. It was a little far, but it was pretty close. And I say, okay, that's cool. Let's actually move to level 2 now. So level 2 is a bigger half of the deck. Let's say about here. So I have the spectator guess how many cards they're holding, okay? Lock it in their head. And now let's count again how many cards we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32. Now tell me, was that close? Was that far from your number? And they say, it was actually a little bit closer this time. And I say, okay, awesome. I think you're actually getting pretty good at this. So now on to level 3, the hardest level of this game. I'm actually going to have you try to estimate where your card is. And don't worry, I'll actually help you out a little bit as well. But for this, I actually want you to cut a small portion, maybe like a quarter or so, but a little less than a quarter actually would be good. Let's say about here, and just take the cards and put them in your pocket. So don't even count them, don't even let me see, just put them straight into your pocket, okay? Great. So now here's what I'm gonna do. I think your card is somewhere in this deck, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to estimate where it is in here, okay? So I'm just gonna go through, I'm not entirely sure, but I think, okay, I think it could be close. I think I already passed it. Wasn't this one, was it? It wasn't actually any of these, was it? I don't think your card is in here because I think I already passed it. So you can confirm yes or no. Is your card in here? They say no, it's not in here. I say, okay, great. So I think your card is in here, but to tell you the truth, I don't know exactly where it is. But I think that's where you come in actually. Because remember, you cut a small pile beforehand and you placed it inside of your pocket. And you didn't count the cards or anything. You didn't try to cut a specific amount, right? You just sort of did it randomly. Let's see how many cards you cut exactly. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. 10 cards exactly. You didn't try to cut 10, you just randomly cut 10. Let's go ahead and use that number. Try to find your card in this deck. So you cut 10 cards, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Tell me, for the first time, was your card the 2 of clubs? Hopefully it was. And yeah, that's the trick, guys. So yeah, it's a really fun impromptu trick. I think it looks pretty good. So let me know what you guys think. And if you guys enjoy it, be sure to stick around for the tutorial. All right, guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. So yeah, this is a really cool little impromptu trick that I came up with recently, and I'm pretty proud of the result, mostly because this trick is actually almost entirely self-working. This trick is basically just a mathematical principle that works automatically. There's only one thing you have to do, and I'm sure a lot of you guys already know. But yeah, other than that sleight of hand thing, super easy trick. Anyone can do this. There is a little bit of mental math involved. That is the only other sort of downside to this trick, is you have to do a little bit of mental math in your head. But if you practice it enough, it actually gets pretty easy. And I'll give you some shortcuts as well to help speed up and facilitate the process. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into how this trick actually works. So like I said, completely impromptu. You just need a deck of 52 normal cards. Once you have this, you are ready to go. So you can actually borrow a deck as well. If you have one available to you, you can do that. And now all you have to do is have the spectator select any card. Let's say this one over here. And here's the only sleight of hand move that you have to do. Use any control that you like to control the card to the top of the deck. I literally have so many videos on how to control cards, and I'm sure you guys have thousands of controls already in your arsenal to control cards to the top of the deck. The one that you saw in the performance, I actually made a separate video on how to do that control. So I won't teach it in this video, but I will link you guys to that video over here because it's actually a really cool deceptive control. But yeah, if you guys know how to do literally any card control, just take your card, control it to the top of the deck, and the rest of the trick is self-working. Once you've controlled their card to the top using any method you like, you're gonna start this little carnival game of the spectator guessing how many cards they cut. Now, the cool thing about this trick is the spectator sort of sets the deck up themselves for this trick to work. The only thing you have to do is keep track of the numbers that they pick. And it's very easy. All you really have to do is remember the first amount of cards that they cut. They're gonna cut a small pile, maybe a quarter of the cards. And they're gonna guess how many cards are here, and then they're gonna count them on the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One thing that's very important is you wanna make sure that you tell them to deal the cards one at a time into a pile, because you actually want the spectator to, reverse count the cards. You want them to deal it exactly in that fashion, or else this trick is not going to work. So make sure they do that, and then you're just going to remember the number that they just counted. So they just counted 12, I believe. So all you're going to do is put that number in the back of your head, and now they're going to take the cards and place them back on the deck. Now, if you notice, when you controlled the card to the top, their card was originally on the top of the deck, of course. And then when they counted 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that card actually gets moved to the bottom of the pile automatically. So now when they place the cards back together, that card is now in the 12th position of the deck. Now you tell them for the second level, you want them to cut more than half of the deck, so they cut a bigger pile. And then you tell them to guess how many cards they're holding, and then they're gonna count them on the table. And once again, they must deal the cards one at a time and reverse count the cards. And that's the only way this trick will work. And all you have to do is remember the first number was 12, and then you're gonna keep track of what the second number is as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Okay, so now you're remembering two numbers, 31 from this level and 12 from the previous level. So all you have to do is just keep those two numbers in the back of your head, 31 and 12, and make sure you put the bigger number in front of the smaller number. So 31 and 12, keep those numbers in your head. And now you tell the spectator for level 3, we're going to find your card. And this part is entirely self-working. All you have to do is have them cut a small pile, like a really, really small pile, maybe like about 10 cards or so. Just tell them just a really small pile, like less than a quarter. So they cut about here, they're gonna set it aside. All you have to do now is take the two numbers that they just chose, the bigger one and the smaller one, subtract the smaller one from the bigger one. So basically, in other words, you're going to do 31 minus 12. And that is how many cards you're going to place onto the table from the top of this deck right over here. So if we do 31 minus 12 right now, we should get 19, correct? So a little shortcut that actually helps me with this big subtraction is I really just focus on the last digit of the answer, and then I'll be able to figure out the rest of the number from there. So I see that 31 minus 12, it's basically a 1 minus a 2. Immediately, I know that if I was gonna do this on paper, you'd have to like carry the 1. So I immediately just put a 1 in front of that first one. So then it becomes 11 minus 2, which is 9. And then I can just use common sense to figure out that 31 minus 12 equals 19. That's just a really quick shortcut that you guys can use if you guys are struggling at all with this big subtraction. Once you guys get that answer, all you have to do is deal that many cards onto the table and then stop there. So my answer was 19. I'm gonna deal 19 cards on the table, and I'm just gonna do this sort of silently. I'm just gonna count in my head 19. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And when you get towards 19, start to slow down a little bit. Don't just count 19 really fast and then stop immediately. You wanna keep a steady rhythm and then start to slow down, because you want to appear to the spectator that you're sort of stopping at their card, and then say, you know what? I think I actually already passed your card. And then you take the other cards and you spread them out. You ask the spectator, is your card anywhere here? And their card was the ace of clubs, and I don't see the ace of clubs anywhere here. And now the trick is all done. The trick is completely done. You don't have to do anything anymore, because the spectator basically set this trick up themselves. All you had to do was do some counting. That's it. And now the trick will work automatically. They take the cards out of their pocket that they just freely cut, and they count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards. Exactly. Their card was the ace of clubs. Let's count 12 cards down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We get the ace of clubs, just like that. And that is really how the trick works. It's just completely self-working, and all you have to do is just practice that subtraction. But once you guys get that down, if you guys remember that shortcut I taught you, it really isn't as hard as it seems. It's actually a lot easier than you might think. I really hope you guys try this one out, because it's really fun and it really fools the spectator. It's also a fun game in general for them to do the estimation cutting. It's just a fun time. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, like the video, and see you guys next time. Bye.